The 4 p.m. duo TOP expressions.
So let's find out what suitable and useful expressions we can use in various situations. Let's jump into our first summer expression. 네, 첫 번째 표현입니다. 벌써 닷새째 폭염주의보가 내렸어.
You can actually say a heat wave watch as well for 폭염주의보. And for 폭염경보, you can say it's a heat wave warning as well. Because
That's right.
경보 is a slightly more worse, a more severe term of the word.
That's right. And 닷새째, of course, is 5 days straight. So in total, you can say there's been a heat wave warning for 5 days straight.
Okay, let's move on to our next expression. 두 번째 표현입니다. 일사병에 걸리지 않으려면 양산을 들고 다니는 것도 좋아. So we've got a few words here that we can go over. So we have 일사병. 일사병, of course, is sunstroke. 일사병.
Or heat stroke.
Heat stroke or sunstroke. You can say both of them there. 일사병. And 걸리다, of course, is to get heat stroke. To get heat stroke.
Right.
So 일사병에 걸리지 않으려면 So to prevent heat stroke, using a parasol is good.
Right. So in total, you can say, use a parasol to prevent heat stroke.
Use a parasol to prevent heat stroke. All right, let's move on to our third expression.
All right. 세 번째 표현입니다. 너무 더워서 강아지가 탈수 증상을 보이는 것 같아.
You got to be really careful when you have
no.
pets.
Yeah, very careful indeed because they have fur, right?
They do.
Yeah, or some have hair for hypoallergenic dogs or cats. And because of that, they have that extra layer of that makes them so toasty in the sun.
Exactly. So it can retain more of the heat. So let's look at some of the words here. We have 탈수 증상.
Right. 탈수 증상, of course, is symptoms of dehydration.
Right. Symptoms of dehydration, which can be very dangerous in the summer. So in total, you can say, it's so hot, I think my dog is dehydrated.
Right. It's so hot. I think my dog is dehydrated.
So remember, when you take your dog for a walk, 강아지를 산책시킬 때, give it a lot of water as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Even bringing a little bottle of water with you and letting your dog or cat have some, right? Is very important.
Very important indeed.
All right. Let's move on to our fourth expression.
네 번째 표현입니다. 외출할 때마다 땀에 흠뻑 젖어. So of course, 외출하는 거 is leaving the house. Going out, leaving the house. And
right.
할 때마다 is every time I do something.
Right.
So every time I leave the house, 땀에 흠뻑 젖어.
And 흠뻑 젖어, like we mentioned, there are lots of ways of saying this. However, I like this one. Drenched in sweat.
Drenched. That's a very good word.
Right, you can just picture it. 상상을 할 수 있죠.
그렇죠.
You're just drenched in sweat.
So when you say just like I'm wet, it's kind of like 젖었어.
Right.
But when you say 흠뻑 젖었어, you can say I'm drenched. It's got a much stronger feeling to it.
Exactly. So in total, you can say, I get drenched in sweat every time I leave the house.
I get drenched in sweat every time I leave the house. That's a really, that's a horrible thing to think about.
It's a horrible thing, but it happens to us every day.
It happens to all of us, yeah, everyone. Drink lots of water, stay hydrated, everybody.
Yes, very important indeed. All right, let's move on to our last but not least fifth expression. 다섯 번째 표현입니다. 오늘 너무 더워서 더위 먹은 줄 알았어. 더위.
So 더위 먹다 is a very 특이한 표현인 것 같아요. 이거 영어에는 없어가지고.
Right, so 더위 먹다 is not to eat heat. Right?
Yeah, 지각하면 to eat heat이라고 할 수 있는데요. But this concept as well is it's interesting. I was like, how can you translate 더위를 먹다? 더위 먹었어.
Right. Well, 더위 먹다, the concept itself is to be affected by heat.
Right, to be really affected by the heat. 근데 자연스러운 영어로 번역하려면 you can say something like the heat is killing me.
Yeah, the heat is killing me.
너무 더워서 죽을 것 같아.
Right.
Yeah, 더위를 먹었어.
Exactly. So in total, you can say, it's so hot, the heat is killing me.
It's so hot, the heat is killing me.